like for example, you and I could make a movie using AI.
Yeah.
And it's getting easier and easier, you know. But of course, we need a lot of work, a lot of hours, you know.
Yeah.
But then how many people can actually do a good movie and then actually sell it? And, you know, the other thing is having people pay for you as an art, you know, a working artist.
Yeah.
That's another thing.
Yeah.
Because then you would need to have the skills of a salesman, of a marketer, of a computer, you know. So people are going to have to become a bit more generalists in a way.
Does that make things better? Who knows?
Yeah.
On that point,
That's yeah.
I'm working again on my little side project of I made a rough cut of a short movie last year. And
Oh, you made it. You shot it. You
yeah, I
wrote
shot it. And as you say, the equipment, I bought myself the best camera I could buy with a couple of interesting lenses so I could do things in various different ways. I bought myself a good gimbal, which allows me to move the camera, you know, like a steady cam and whatever. So, and I shot it in the woods here in Paradise. And
Are
it's
you
a story.
kidding me?
It's a story of I won't tell no. It's got a twist in it. It's based on an old Evelyn Waugh story. Basically, not everything is as it seems, and it's a little 7-minute piece that for me was an exercise in keeping me busy and giving that part of my brain something to do.
Of course.
Instead of walking the dog and doing the housework, and I wanted to see how far I could take it and whether I could produce a finished version that might help me get work as a director.
Wow.
On things, on TV and film and whatever, just as a beginning. And so that's now, I'm going to start reshooting all of that with actually one of the guys I've just done the movie with, because I didn't like my performance in the original version, and it was very rough anyway. But I'm going to redo that with him.
That's very cool. That's very cool.
It's just me, him, and the dog in it. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
watch the space for that. But that wouldn't have been possible without the equipment that I've got being available. And that equipment is only available. I only have that equipment because our auditions now, my auditions are what's called self-tapes. I need that gear, like you've got all the gear here.
Yeah, you got to have it.
You've got to have the right gear. It is more affordable now because it's being produced in bigger numbers. You know, you can buy decent mics, decent camera.
True.
You know, things like tripods and stuff. It is cheaper.
It used to
than
be
it used
really
to, it used to be so expensive,
Okay.
specialised. So now you've got all this stuff, and I've got all this stuff. So I thought, well, I may as well use it.
Of course.
And over lockdown,
Yeah.
every audition was a self-tape, because obviously we couldn't get on the train and go to audition for the directors.
Yeah.
Every audition was a self-tape, and I started to learn how to cut things together, how to use iMovie and other, you know, editing tools
Editing
and stuff.
tools.
You know,
Okay.
and I got quite good at it. And now my self-tapes are quite, you know, I have beautiful transitions and fades and things.
Okay,
And I like
pretty
it to look,
cool.
you know, professionals and tight. So I just thought, well, I'll take it one step further and see what I can do. And I think a lot of people are doing that now. They're taking, literally, doing it themselves. By its very nature, not everything's going to be great. But hey, we're all learning.
Yeah.
We're all learning. And it's taught me. I mean, I was pretty good with the camera before, after kind of 30 years of doing it. I know what it does to me, and I know how to work with a camera, kind of.
Yeah, you have that advantage of knowing the other side.
That's it. Looking at it from this side, looking down the other end of the viewfinder, you know, that's different for me. So interesting.
So if I can help you with any, you know, any gear,
I might need to,
you got
know.
it, man. You
I'm
got
looking around
it.
seeing what I can pinch.
Of course.
Yeah, I've got a
of
Canon
course.
EOS like that.
Yeah, man. What do you think about the lighting here? Do you think it's
Fabulous.
I'm not the best at. I'm missing one more light on that side to illuminate this, but
Yeah, you just some ambience here would just
ambience.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, something a bit smaller than that, and then just light this up. Yeah, but it's lovely. You've got a great setup.
Thank you.
Like
Thank you.
that. That's an R7. Wow, that's a nice camera.
Thank you.
I couldn't afford
Thank
one
you.
of those. I bought an old M3 EOS R, one of the earlier ones, just because it was. I knew my way around it. That's a nice camera.
Yeah, my friend Roberto, the guy that interviewed Residente,
yeah.
he coached me on all this. You know, he told me you gotta get this and this and
Yeah,
that.
no, you've got to. The gear is there.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's learning. I mean, learning how that works, learning, you know, learning, like with me, learning how the editing suite works. I love it.
Yeah.
And
Practice.
it makes me feel
Practice.
closer, and it gives you a better understanding. I now have a better understanding when I go to work of what the director's doing and what's going on in their head and what they want.
Now you know, okay, yeah,
The
that's
overview
actually,
of the thing.
yeah, it helps
And that's
both
really
sides.
important.
Yeah,
You know, to know what
amazing.
you're doing is yeah.
So in my knowledge society, like I have a knowledge society called Mindshop
Yes.
where I teach. We have a movie society,
Yeah.
like a sub society. At some point, I would love to do a viewing of your film there.
Yeah, when it's out. Yeah,
we could
great.
invite
Yeah.
when it's out.
Love to.
Yeah, we could.
Love to.
We could actually record another episode about it.
I thought you only liked the goated Nosferatu. Who's your guy?
We have to. Yeah, Eggers.
Oh,
Eggers. You don't like him?
Shades, okay.
The movie or the director, or both.
I just find it a bit. My attention wanders. You know, I thought the Lighthouse was okay, and
Lighthouse. Okay.
and Nosferatu. I didn't really see the point of Nosferatu. I like the Klaus Kinski version. That was done in
The original.
1970s, yeah.
Okay.
Not
Yeah,
the
I-
original, but you know, the
I
remake.
like the photography of Nosferatu.
Yeah.
And the whole ambience. Like, it's
Yeah.
really... There's a Japanese game called Bloodborne, which is...
Okay. Yeah,
have you heard?
yeah,
Which is,
yeah.
like, really sublime.
Yeah.
Like, dark.
Yeah.
And, you know, I love horror. Horror for me
You're
is...
quite dark, aren't you?
I love it.
You're quite scary.
I want to ask you about Penny Dreadful. You made a couple of episodes.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
that a
Brilliant.
yeah? Good?
Brilliant. Yeah.
It was highly rated.
Yeah.
And I watched some of it.
Yeah.
It looks good.
Yeah, I was lucky to be in that. It's one of the few things I've ever done without my clothes on.
Are you kidding me?
No, I had to get naked. I had to get completely naked. Do you know what? That job's probably affected me more than any other job I've ever done because
Wow.
they
Why?
they had to. I had to play a guy who was who had enslaved a particular character and was selling him for sex.
Wow.
And
Dense.
it wasn't a big part, but it was a nice wee part, and it was 2 episodes. But I was a big fan. I was a big fan of Penny Dreadful. The brilliant writer, whose name escapes me now. I knew I really wanted to do it when it came up, and the casting director was like, "You're gonna have to take your clothes off. Are you okay with that?" It's like, "What? Everything's." I was like,
Jeez.
Okay, I can do that.
That was an.
As it turned out, I could tuck everything in, so nothing was visible. So, age has its advantages.
Yeah.
So,
Man.
but that gig was it's out there, so I can say it.
Yeah, of course,
I had to
yeah.
die in a certain way. Where
You had to die?
They had to die in a
That's a
certain way.
weird
So,
thing to say.
Yeah, they wanted.
You want some more water?
Yeah, it'd be great. Thanks. They wanted to see the knife go into my body.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I had to have this savage stabbing.
A savage stabbing.
So they saw the knife go in here, and then my throat was cut. Okay. So they decided, I got this gig. It turned out to be a really long gig. I think in the September, I got this call. I knew I got the job. They said, "We need you to come over to Dublin because we need to make a cast
Oh, I was
of
in
your
Dublin.
body." Yeah. And they had booked, there's a beautiful studio called Bray Studios outside Dublin where they shoot a lot of brilliant movies. Excalibur and things like that. John Borman used to shoot a lot of his things there. Brilliant studio. And they had every soundstage there. So every big, massive soundstage is a massive shed that's soundproofed. It's a huge studio, right? And there were 7 of them there, I think. No, 5. And they had every single one was being used for Penny Dreadful.
Oh, man.
So they'd have the Frankenstein set, the Dracula set, Dorian Gray set, you know, and then they used some of the Guinness Brewery in Dublin for the exteriors. Anyway, they'd based all of the special effects and stuff there as well. The wardrobe department alone, they were brilliant. Oh, these Italian costumes they'd got from... we had the same costumes that they'd used in The Gangs of New York, the Scorsese movie.
Wow,
And
it's
it's beautiful. Oh, man, the shoes were so comfortable. It was gorgeous. Anyway, they got me over to make a body cast. And I was like, okay.
A body cast.
A body cast. Because they had to make a double of my body.
Okay.
What they wanted to shoot was this
Of
me
course,
sitting in a chair with my hands tied behind, and they needed to see the camera. The knife needed to see the knife going into my body. So anyway, these amazing special effects guys who'd worked on Star Wars and Harry Potter and all this stuff.
Are you kidding
Top of their
me,
game,
man?
top of their game,
Wow.
guys. Yeah, they'd come over from Berlin to make this cast. Anyway, they rigged me up with this. I wasn't thinking anything of it, but they rigged me up in this chair, this jig as they called it, which was like a chair for me to sit in, and they put my arms in position, and they made sure that I was as comfortable as I could be, and they started to make a cast of all of me, basically
Part by part, or
down to my knees, my back, my torso, my head, not the front of my face. That was the only thing they didn't use. My arms, everything. So basically, my whole body, and that involves being covered in silicone.
silicone?
Then
say
a
clay.
mould being made of plaster on top of that, and then more silicone and this amazing stuff they use. Anyway, it took nearly 4 hours to do this,
My
and
God.
it wasn't by
So
the end of
uncomfortable.
by the end of the first hour, I was freaking out a bit.
Wow. You couldn't
And
move.
it's so hot, you can't move, you can't got to stay still. And these guys were brilliant. They've got fans on me, they're giving me drinks. It'll be okay.
Like a beer.
You don't have long to go. It'll be okay. It's all good. No, you don't move. It's nice. And in the end, they managed to get it, and it took like nearly 4 hours. But it was like a bad trip, and I didn't enjoy it at all.
Yeah.
And since that, having that cast made, I've become slightly claustrophobic, and I never was before.
Really?
Yeah. The
Going
feeling,
back to the question of how a role changes.
the feeling of being, not in prisons too, not able to move, incapacitated. I can't bear it now. I need to be able to move. I don't like being stuck in one
Tied
place
up
or in a corner or stuck in, so that was
You want me to
pretty
crack
horrible.
a window or something?
But that was really weird.
Wow.
But when I got over to shoot it, it was brilliant because I was working with these like Hollywood stars in the dressing room next to me, absolutely astonishing.
Pretty cool.
Amazing cast. And then they wheeled out, remember on the death scene, they wheeled out the cast of me, and it was me. Me, naked. Like even the hairs on my back and moles were all in exactly the same place. Just perfect HD.
Did you reflect
Amazing.
about your death at that point? I suppose you did, right?
I think I was too busy trying to hide my bollocks, just trying to tuck everything in and make sure Billy Piper didn't get an eyeful. Poor woman. And no, but it was a lovely job. But we ended up shooting all of that stuff. And a brilliant director, brilliant cast, brilliant everything. And then they rang me up about a month later, and they found we'd done one of the scenes that I had. We'd done at the old Guinness Brewery in Dublin, which they used for the exterior shots of like, they used to dress it up and make it look like Victorian Dublin. And there'd been a mistake. Something happened in what we'd shot. It seemed like a bit of a rush the day we were doing it, and it felt like it wasn't done properly. So they had to do what are called pickups. A pickup is when you've got a mistake or you've got something half done and you've got to redo it.
Okay.
Often you do a pickup the next day. We missed a part of that scene. We'll pick it up tomorrow. Or we found there's a problem on sound, or there was a problem with camera.
We'll do a pickup.
Camera had a judder. There was a hair in the gate, something like that. We've got to reshoot it. So they said, we've got to do pickups. And I went back about a month later just to reshoot one line, which on my show reel actually. We butcher them like that. We butcher them. That's a pickup. That's not from the original scene.
I saw that.
And that's all I had to do, go back, and they paid me again for another 2 episodes.
Amazing.
Winner! That never happened. But that was brilliant. And of course, that was great money. 'cause
Lucky.
It was used all over the world. Yeah.
Amazing.
That was a lovely, lovely job. Yeah,
So
yeah.
Penny Dreadful, it's been going, it went on for 2 years, 3 years. 2 or 3 seasons.
I think that they did. I think I was in season 3, and they rushed it to an end because they knew that, what's his name? Robert? Can't remember the guy's creator's name. Brilliant writer. Mm-hmm. They basically pulled funding at the beginning of the last season, and he wanted it to come to an end, so they kind of rushed it towards an end, which I don't think was what he wanted.
Unfortunate.
They got it in the can. Oh, what an amazing job. I'll never forget Patti LuPone. The great Patti LuPone, the great Broadway legend, knocking on my door one day. And then she was in the dressing room next to me. Sorry, dear, do you know where the restroom is? It's over there. No, Patti LuPone asked me where the bog was. Oh, fuck, showbiz, I love it. No, it was lovely. And Josh Hartnett and people like that. It was great cast. Rory
Amazing, man.
Kinnear in that as Frankenstein's monster is, I think, one of the great performances
Really,
in TV. I mean, yeah, it's
I have
unsung.
to watch it.
Oh man, it's
Because
beautiful.
horror, it's actually
Beautifully
horror,
done.
right?
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
horror
yeah.
is one of those things like there are like 100 movies and one is good, and 99 are like.
Do you know what a penny dreadful is?
No.
Penny dreadful is a word that was given to Victorian comics in this country. They were sold for a penny. So comic books.
Ah, okay.
So
Okay.
the equivalent to Marvel or DC Comics, they would have these awful stories, which were often cartoons. They were made for poor people,
Okay.
so they could read the story. And that, Charles Dickens, a lot of his stories were published as pictorial
Penny
novels.
Dreadful. Oh, I didn't know that.
And a penny dreadful is something that was sold for a penny, and it wasn't particularly good, or it was quite a horrific story, so it was called a dreadful. That's where the word comes from, penny dreadful.
Wow.
That's the phrase. So penny dreadful was his amalgam, was his mix of every horror story possible, because you've got Wolfman, Dorian Gray, Frankenstein, Dracula. So it's basically like a tribute to,
That's very cool.
an homage to every horror movie ever made. So it's got a bit of everything. And Eva Green,
She's great. I don't know.
beautiful Eva Green. Oh
Yeah.
my God, she's stunning. Yeah. And Alan Quatermain, Timothy Dalton playing Alan Quatermain from King Solomon's Mines. So he's taken a character from very famous stories and put them all into this one world and built this universe. where they all live.
It's actually
It's
hard to
worth
do.
watching.
It's
worth
worth
watching.
watching. Yeah.
And it works because it's brilliantly shot. The cast are second to none. I mean, top actors.
Wow.
Top actors. Every single one of them. Brilliant performers. The directors were amazing. The writers were amazing. I mean, the guy that produced it was the Bond guy, Skyfall. Can't remember his name. And the lady that wrote most of them wrote 1917. Got the Oscar for that. With names
So many names, man. It's so much.
Honestly,
Yeah.
Penny Dreadful.
Penny Dreadful,
It was one of those gigs that I knew. When you turn up sometimes on a job, you know that they're spending money, and it feels.
You can notice.
It just feels good. Like this last one, we knew it was decent quality.
Amazing, man.
You know by the sort of camera gear they're using.
When is
how
it
they've-
coming out? Your new movie next
This time next year, I suppose.
This time next year.
Cannes next May, is it? I suppose.